a lot of confusion, noise, and misinformation in the fitness world about nutrition because everyone is saying a lot of different things without giving real information. And the more information you search out there on the internet, the more strange stuff you're going to find. There is someone who tells you that carbs are evil, there is someone who tells you that this is the right way to eat. Everyone is telling their methods, no one is explaining to you the principles that you need to use in order to create a nutritional plan that works for you. So I will give you the information that I learned along the way about nutrition, all the confusion that I needed to go through in order to learn about this stuff so that you can apply that to your specific situation and can perform at the best in the mat. You can still train hard in the gym and become jacked as fuck, because this is what is important in life in the end. So let's talk about myself. I'm no nutritionist, okay? I have degree in physical therapy, but I needed to learn about nutrition by myself because in October of 2021 I needed to go through a weight cut. I needed to lose weight for a competition. I needed to go from 71 kilos to 66 weight class, and I was still not lean, but I was thin. Okay, I didn't have that much fat to lose. And so I started to learn about nutrition, started to learn about what to eat, when to eat. And what I've understood at the time was that if you eat less, then you expand calories, okay? If you don't eat as much and you move a lot, you are going to lose weight. And that actually happened, okay? I've lost 5 kilos in 1 month, but in the end, I felt very, very sick. I felt very, very bad because I looked skinny as hell. I was tired all the time, and my body felt frail as glass, okay? I felt really weak. When I was training, I also felt weak in my body. Every beating that my body was taking, it was 3 times as more painful and 3 times as more prone to injury. So I understood at the end of that experience that I needed to at least understand how to apply my nutrition so that I could have the energy to train, so that I wouldn't get injured as much during my training, but also being able to have the cognitive and physical energy to live my day-to-day life. Because at the time I was still studying at university, I still have friends and people in my life that I like to give my energy. And if I'm so drained from my inability to manage my nutrition, I cannot be present for the people in my life. I cannot perform good, and also my life become miserable in general. Okay, so I started to study nutrition, started to read articles, I started to listen into podcasts, and basically all my feed of Instagram was about creators that were talking about weight cutting, that were talking about nutrition, what to eat, when to eat, what are the real stuff, what is the real stuff, what is the bullshit. And so I cut through all of the stuff. I experienced that on myself, and right now I have a pretty consistent nutritional routine that I don't even need to think about, okay? I eat pretty decently, I have a pretty consistent idea of what my body needs, and I don't really need to think that much about it. And so I synthesized all this information for you so that you can never worry about the stuff, so that you will never need to search for other information out there. And I made it specifically for someone like me, someone who is a judoka, who wants to compete and who also wants to train hard in the gym because he cares a lot about his training. So how to eat for judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, grappling sports in general. So these sports are at high intensity. These are high intensity efforts. So you need to have a high reserve of carbs inside of your body, because carbs are being used especially when you're doing high efforts, high intensity activities. While if you're resting or if you're doing low intensity steady state activities, your body relies more on fats. Okay? So what can you do with that information? What does that actually mean? It means that you need to eat carbs. You should eat a lot of carbs, things like rice, pasta, potatoes, all of that stuff. You need to have that to fuel your performance. And fuck all of these people who says, oh no, carbs are evil, you're getting bloat, your mind is start to have mind fog, and when you're eating carbs, because warriors used to... Guys, don't listen to that motherfuckers, okay? If you are training hard, you need to have carbs to fuel your performance. Okay, so have at least once in your day during probably lunchtime a serving of rice, pasta, potatoes, bread. Yes, also bread can help you to fuel your performance. Because if you're into a keto diet, I tried a keto diet while training in judo, and you can sustain like 30 to 40 minutes of training under a keto diet, okay? You are doing pretty well for 30 to 40 minutes, but after that, you are sluggish. You cannot really move, you cannot really do any high intensity effort. You are not as explosive as you could be, and you feel basically retarded when you are doing randori during a keto diet. Avoid that as hell. Avoid that as the plague. Okay? Eat your carbs, rice, pasta, bread, potatoes at least once in your day. And preferably, this is not mandatory, but it can help you a lot. 60 to 90 minutes before your training, eat some simple carbs. Things like honey, sugar, rice cakes with jam, some chocolate, even some candies. Even candies, which is high sugary, can help you to sustain your performance. All right, I personally don't like it, but I know a lot of my friends and people that are training that use some pre-workout, not things with caffeine and all that stuff, but a little bit of carbohydrates. There are also some gels, some carbohydrate gels that are easily digestible that can help you to fuel your performance. And yes, I said sugar. Sugar is not evil for you. If you're a healthy human being who trains twice per day, for example, you need to have something that fuels your training before. So 60 to 90 minutes before starting your judo session or weight training session, eat some simple carbs, okay? It doesn't have to be crazy stuff. What I told you before, some honey, some rice cakes, and you're ready to go. About protein, I can tell you that you need around 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or a little bit more if you're cutting 1.8 or 2 grams of protein per body weight. The problem with that information that you probably heard in other videos is that how can you actually know how much protein there are in a specific food, okay? This information don't really help you. So I will tell you couple of servings that I tracked my nutrition, okay? For 1 year, I put into an app that was counting my macros, everything that I was eating, and it gave me some information about how much protein I was putting into my body, how much protein there is into a specific food serving. So I will give you some examples of food of portions that will give you around 30 grams of protein per body weight. So if you're 70 kilos, you're going to need around 3 to 4 servings of the examples that I'm going to give it to you to reach your nutritional goals. If you are weighing a little bit more, eat a little bit more of that. If you're lighter, eat a little bit less of that. You don't need, there is no crazy science out there. So I will give you some examples of the things that I'm eating so that you can have an idea of how to reach your nutritional goals. In the morning, I usually eat 300 grams of Greek yogurt with honey and blueberries because I like it. It's very enjoyable for me to eat. It's very easy for me to eat. And also, honey will give you the carbs. The blueberries are very nice to eat and also have a lot of micronutrients, which are also good for your health in general. And the Greek yogurt is extremely high in protein. I'm specifically the 0% fat Greek yogurt. And it tastes a little bit bad in the beginning, but if you get used to it, it becomes really, really enjoyable. Then later in the morning, later during lunchtime, I usually eat some rice, some pasta with some servings. I usually eat rice with chicken, or I eat random pasta, my mom make pasta with tuna, for example. As I live in Italy, it is very, very common for us to eat pasta with tuna. And if I don't really have, so basically some carbs and some protein in it. If I don't have that much protein inside my main meal, I support that with a couple of toast of protein bread, which is bread which has a little bit more protein than normal white bread. And I put some turkey and cheese on it. So I also have other 30 to 40 grams of protein. Then For dinner, I usually eat a lot of protein with some veggies on the side. So I usually eat chicken breast, 200 to 300 grams, which have a lot of protein in it, around 30 to 40 grams of protein in it, or 2 to 3 chicken thighs. I usually eat also steak or some salmon if I have it at home, because we are we are poor. Or I also eat some pork, meat in general with some veggies on the side, and a little dessert, also because I like it, I really enjoy it, or and also because it helps me to restore carbs after my training. With that 3 meals, I usually arrive to at least 110, 100 grams of protein per day. If you are a little bit heavier, of course, you're going to need a bigger portion of that. If you're a little bit lighter, you might need a little bit less. But generally speaking, these are the foods that I use to reach my nutritional goals. The video is over, so I hope that this was useful information. I had a little bit trouble to stay consistent with the uploading because it's a very intense period for me, but I hope that this information can be useful also in a non-excessively edited way. If you might need some more specific information for your situation, you need some more personalized advice, you can book a one-on-one consultation with me so that you can ask me questions about specific technical advice, or questions about rehab in judo, about strength and conditioning, also nutrition. Whatever doubts you might have, you can ask it to me for free. I don't want to charge any money for that. So I hope that this video was useful. Remember to aim upward as always.